looking back at her. Welcome to my house.
And we've got, actual dirt
Oh,
on
wow.
the stage floor.
And a steering wheel and a Formula One. It's actually number 5 in the world of.
The appeal of the vampire being that he's very, very bad for you. He's definitely not someone your parents would want you to be with, but he's so appealing because he really gets you.
You play Dracula.
I don't play Dracula. I am Dracula.
You're already in the role.
And you are in trouble.
I haven't invited you in yet.
Well, you just don't know it, but you did.
How is your Dracula? How did you prepare for this role? What were you trying to get across in this? Because there's a certain amount of charisma that's needed.
Well, I mean, Michael saw me perform Don Giovanni at Berkeley Opera in a production that is very dark and very physical, very carnal, I would say. And he must have seen something that he would like me to bring to the role. In preparation for Dracula, I stayed clear of as much material that just has come about, in pop culture. Like you mentioned, Twilight. Of course, I've seen Coppola's Dracula many times, as I think it's one of the most operatic and melodramatic, beautifully rich interpretations. But I stayed clear from it because I wanted not so much for me to, do the 55th version of Dracula, but I wanted it to come to me, and I, in a way, invited him in. And honestly, when the second I step onto the set, I like to be just completely fresh and let it be different every night. There's a core belief of me and something demonic that takes over that I allow to happen very strongly, but I wouldn't say this is my prism and that's the scheme in which I play the character. But maybe a physical abundance to the role, a youthfulness, but at the same time a century-old restraint of knowing, when to play dead and then when to strike.
Yes.
And then a level of vulnerability that, in one scene in particular comes out when he meets Mina, and without giving too much away, as he's trying on a very human level to connect with her, because in Mina he sees his long-lost love, Elisabetta, that was taken from him, which is really the catalyst and sparks his defection from God and from belief in anything good.
Locations of plays are really a matter of psychological terrain, rather than it's in the study or it's in this room. We don't really need that anymore. There's a lot of locations in this Dracula, from rooms in the asylum to Dracula's castle to the catacombs. And what we've got here is this beautiful, surrealistic creation by Kim Tolman, the set designer, that these 4 leaning walls that are almost like gigantic tombstones sinking into the earth.
Looks a little like my living room.
And we've got actual dirt
Oh,
on
wow.
the stage floor, so it's like the earth that from whence Dracula emerges, the grave is everywhere. It's a bit of a scary house, a sort of Halloween house.
Ready for Halloween?
Yeah,
too?
because Dracula's scary as well as sexy and romantic. So that's sort of what drove that, wanting to create a really exciting, visually exciting, surrealistic environment that sort of captured the psychological tone of the play.
Da, da, da. It's him looking back at her. Now I'm kissing her forehead and
Sing
telling her in Romanian, "You are my love." And goes into this beautiful soliloquy.
I'm wondering if he is Dracula and right now he's just playing Eugene.
Exactly.
I have wondered the same thing.
A brilliant
He
disguise.
can glam you. He can hypnotize you.
Why do you think we don't let sunlight in this room? There's something physical that you can do. You raise the soft palate, and thus the voice becomes a little deeper. And then you say, "Welcome to my house. Enter freely and of your own will." So as I was practicing that, I was in my study, and my daughter came in, and she's 6 years old. She said, "Who's here with you?" It's like, no, nobody. It was just me. And it was really cute. But that is, of course, the predatorial Dracula. Because later on, as he sees Mina or Lucy, he will say, "Awaken, my dear Lucy, "It is I. I've come to you again." And it's a much more cello string-like way of speaking. And we even have a hypnosis moment that happens with the maid that is all
Yes.
over the booming speakers.
Yeah.
Yes.
And even I then perk up and go, "Oh, who is that? Who is that talking to me?" So
Hypnotize
been
yourself.
great. Yeah, it's hypnotizing myself. Why is Eugene late to his cue?
Yeah.
He's been hypnotized by himself. And there have been so many versions of it, and when I read the flyers and said, "See Dracula the way you've never seen it before," I thought, wow, that's a big claim. But now when I look at it, I go, I really haven't seen it like that ever,
Yeah.
and I had not imagined of it that way.
When we first met, and we were at Pete's Coffee in San Francisco and talking about, what our Dracula would be, and I was expressing this interest in it having this very feral, animalistic, carnal side to him, and the idea that Dracula can turn into all these different things, a bat, of course, and the fog, and a wolf. And I really like the wolf idea because of the sort of erotic, sexualized, predatory quality of a wolf rather than a bat. And I was wondering aloud, how can we turn you into a wolf? And Adrian was like, I can turn into a wolf. I can do this. And he gets down on all fours.
This
on
is at
the-
Pete's Coffee at
floor
11
Pete's
o'clock in
Coffee
the
and
morning.
starts
So there's
becoming
more
a
than your
wolf.
daughter wondering about.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was great. It was like I knew then how much
Yes.
fun we were going to have. Yeah.
Thank you for your time, Michael.
you.
Absolutely.
Eugene.
A real
Absolutely.
pleasure.
Oh, Dracula. Thank you, Dracula. Michael.
Vlad, you can call me Vlad.
Vlad. Now for the lightning round, the Stark Threes. Couple of questions.
Okay.
First one up. What's your favorite wine or beer that you just love to sip on, drink?
Chateauneuf-du-Pape or Saint-Emilion, because that's what my parents used to drink when I was a little boy, and they would let us have sips. That's my favorite.
Australian Shiraz 2008 red, or my father's homemade prune schnapps, or what do you call it, like vodka, prune vodka, that he usually gives me, to get over jet lag.
I never met a food I didn't like. Oh God, I don't know. I really have a hard time picking favorites of things I like plays and food. Italian.
Italian. Pastas or
yeah.
pizzas or
No, pasta with broccoli rabe and chicken apple sausage and a ragu.
Very good.
And you?
Well, married to a Korean for almost 10 years, so kimchi tteokbokkum, which is kimchi, spicy pork, and tofu marinated in it, and
Wow.
brown rice, some spicy pickle, and all the goodness that the Korean cuisine brings along.
It's interesting you mentioned kimchi. Did you know a little while ago there was a kimchi shortage?
There was? It's got to be
Yes.
because of me.
There was in the news. So
Really?
Koreans love their kimchi.
Yeah,
yes.
oh, they love it, and everything fermented, that's their thing, and it's wonderful. I mean, I've been eating Korean pretty much like 6 years in a row now.
And you love it.
Yeah, I do.
Last question. I'll start with you this time. So,
Thank you.
what's your favorite gadget?
That I possess personally?
Or that you desire, possess, imagine?
Well, I love racing, so I have a PlayStation 3 at home and a steering wheel and a Formula One simulator that I race with. And I race sometimes I race against the computer, and then you can also race online. And at some point, I was actually number 5 in the world of God knows how many thousand participants. So
Wow.
I'm really good at it.
serious?
Yeah. And I used to race go-karts and bikes, so
Oh, wow.
I'm a racer. When I don't sing or perform, I race.
You like the fast life. Okay, now top that.
I'm so
Mr.
disappointed.
Michael Butler.
Does a guitar count as a gadget?
Yes, absolutely.
That's
Guitar.
it. Yeah.
What
'cause I
kind
used
of
to play in
guitar?
rock band. Either my 1962 Fender Jazzmaster, which is a really sweet vintage guitar, or my Guild acoustic. They're both like beautiful instruments that I've had a long time. And I don't play in bands anymore, but I used to, so I still play, and
What
I
do
like
you play?
it. Guitar,
like
mandolin.
What type of music?
What type of music do I play?
It's the Dracula blues.
Thank you.
I see another career in this for you.